you asking yourself, should I buy a house today? Or maybe I should wait a few years? I'll wait till the market slows down. I'll wait for, whatever. I'll wait. If that's you, I encourage you to watch this video. I'm going to be talking about my opinion on whether you should buy a property now or you should wait. Hi, my name is Jamie Eklund, and I'm a realtor here in the beautiful state of Colorado. Now, on this channel, we talk about all things Colorado related. We talk about the neighborhoods, we talk about real estate, and we talk about cities. If these things interest you, then hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification to be notified next time I post a video. And if you like this video, do a brother a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Now, I get calls from people all the time. They're asking me, what is life like here in Colorado? And I do the best to answer those questions as candidly as I can. I want you to make a good decision. If that's you, give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email. I'd love to talk to you, and I'd love to help you as you make such a big decision. Now, today we are going to be talking about, should you buy property today, or maybe you should wait? Now, as of the shooting of this video, we're in June of 2022, and we're starting to see the market shift a little bit. And people are wondering, well, is it going to crash? Is it going to slow down? Is the market going to start going down, and maybe I could get a screaming deal on a place? So maybe we should just wait. Well, here's my opinion. My opinion is this. I stand by the old financial investors' advice that it's better to have time in the market than to try to time the market. And so my advice to people is it's still better to buy a house now. And why is that my opinion? It's historically in Colorado, we have seen an average of 5.5% interest on residential property if you average out a 10-year period. So if you can live in your house for 10 years, historically speaking, you will make 5.5% year after year on that property. And we saw that when in 08, when the bubble burst. If you look at 08 to 2018, property actually appreciated on average 5.5%, even though that was in the middle of the bubble bursting. So it's my opinion that because of just that average, it's better for you to buy now and not worry about what the market is going to do tomorrow. Really, the question you need to ask yourself is this: how long am I going to live in this particular area? If your answer is 5 years plus, then I would always buy property. When you're renting, people worry about interest rates because interest rates right now are over 5%. And just earlier this year, it was at 3%. That's a huge increase, and people are freaking out about that. Well, the interest rate for renting is 100%. So it's always better to own property. Now, if you're going to only be here for a year or a few months, or maybe even 2 years, depending, I may consider saying you may not want to buy right away because you may lose money once you pay for a commission and fees. You may lose more than you're going to gain in any kind of appreciation. Plus, the big downside to owning property is, when will you have to sell it? And that is the key in this whole thing. If you have a good job and you say to yourself, I'm going to be living in here for at least 5 years, maybe 10 years, then buy property, and then you don't care what the market does. Just buy it, keep paying your mortgage, and your property is going to appreciate over time. I'll tell you a little story of my own experience. When I moved to Colorado, I moved here, let's see, when was it? It was a long time ago, 2008. Yeah. And so I moved here right at the very top of the market, and I waited a little while, and then I bought right before the market went down. And so I bought at the very top of the market. That wasn't the best time to buy. Or was it? So I kept that property and I did a ton of work to it. And I wasn't a realtor at the time, understand. I did a lot of work to the property. I did some things that I probably wouldn't have done today, but I did that to the property. And I looked at selling the property in 2010 at the very bottom of the market. Well, if I would have sold then, I would have basically given the property back for what I had into the property. I wouldn't have made any money at that point. But I was able to keep that property. I turned it into a rental and I rented it out for another 4 years, or 5 years actually, yeah. So I rented it out for 5 years. I went out and bought another property at the very bottom of the market, which is where everybody wants to buy property, right? It's the best time. So I bought that property and I kept it for 5 years and I sold both of them and I ended up building a property. Now, both of those properties, even the one at the top of the market and the one at the bottom of the market, I made really good money on both of them. So when I tell people and I talk to buyers about when should they buy property, I said, well, it doesn't matter as much. As long as you can hold that property and you don't have to sell it. Because if I would have sold at the bottom of the market, I would have given it back. But because I was able to hold it, I was okay. And not just okay, I actually made really good money on both of those properties. And if I would have had to do it again, hindsight is, you always have a lot of clarity with hindsight, right? If I was to do it again, I wouldn't have changed when I bought those two properties. Even though I bought that one at the top, I would have bought it because it allowed me to buy the second. And both of them, selling both of them, allowed me to build a property that was ultimately my dream home. Now, if you have questions, because everybody's situation is different. If you have questions, I would encourage you to give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'd love to sit down with you and answer as many of your questions as I possibly can and see how I can help you in the process to buy a property, or maybe I advise you to just hold off and wait. Either way, I'd love to talk to you and I'd love to help you make the decision.